flags and I'm not. Or if my friends are all going overseas on 3 holiday trips a year. Or if they have got big titles with serious business cards. I've learned that I should stop comparing myself to others and I need to run my own race. Do you know what I mean? I need to stop looking at other people and what they are doing, because what they could be doing could actually be quite empty. Maybe she did something that was not quite right to get that Louis Vuitton bag. I'm wanting it. But I'm not willing to compromise myself to get it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be happy with my Truworths bag. And I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. I'm going to make sure that what I'm doing makes me happy. And I'm successful in this here right now. Do you know what I mean? Because looking what other people are doing, it can pull you, it can make you do certain things. You know, you've heard the words before, peer pressure. That's real. It's really real. And it never ends. It just doesn't end because you leave school and you start university and you start working. Peer pressure gets more intense the older you get. So I've learned not to be too swayed by peer pressure.
Say you don't want to go through life without having that kind of impact that tomorrow they want to have. Now, that's the kind of life that I'm aiming for, because I may say that I do not have a fear, but my biggest fear is failure. So I want to be the type, I don't want to be the type of person that creeps through life, but I also want to leave an impact that even if at this age when I die tomorrow, they're still going to talk about me. But now for me, that's basically making life a test on its own. So I'm just trying to get how can we eliminate that self-initiation.
Do you know what? The fear of failure can be paralyzing, almost to the point where you don't even try. But the world doesn't judge you from your failures. The world judges you on if you get up again. You get what I mean? The world doesn't judge you if you fail. They only judge you if you stay down. So I tell people all the time that after all the no's, if you're asking for a job and you're asking for a job and you're applying for something and you want it badly and they keep on saying no and they keep on saying no, at the end of all the no's, there's a yes. I don't know how many no's you have to get through. You don't know how many no's you have to get through. But you just don't know, maybe next one is going to be the yes. So for me, you have to be brave and you need to be courageous. And for me, to be brave is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Your fear of failure is something we all have. It's the one thing that unites everyone. We're all afraid of failure. You know, we're all afraid of that failure. But I'm not invincible. Nobody's invincible. We've all failed at something. You know. Think of it this way. My favorite example of people getting up all the time is, have you seen babies that are learning how to walk? They fall 100 times a day. And they sit down and they fall on their nappy and they get up again and they start walking. Because there's no other alternative. They have to walk. There's no other alternative. And they keep on getting back and they fall down and they get back again. So the fear will never be eliminated. The fear of failure will never be eliminated. There are people that are successful in their businesses, their own businesses, they've built empires, and they're still afraid to fail. You right now have got less to lose than Steve Jobs. You know what I mean? If he fails this one. When you fail, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Oh, I've got somebody here and somebody there. I'll start you close. Sorry.
Okay, I have two questions. My first question is, what is the one word that best describes you? And my second question is, what advice will you give to us teenagers on how to deal with life and its challenges?
One word to describe me, I don't know. I think I'm maybe optimist. Maybe an optimist. I try to see the silver lining in everything. Otherwise, life can get just too boring and just too serious. I can't be serious. Yeah. What advice I would give to teenagers? I don't know. I think I've said quite a lot. For me, it's to trust yourself more. It's to trust yourself more. The problem with being a teenager is that you don't have enough. Okay, it sounds bad and condescending, but I know you won't take it that way. You don't have enough life experience to know that everything will work out fine. Do you know what I mean? At 32, I know I've had enough challenges, I've had enough setbacks, I've fallen down enough. I've had everything taken away from me, and I've earned it all back again. And there are times when I thought it would be over, and there were times when I was completely depressed. And I just didn't know whether the sun would come out again. And I now know, because of my life experience, looking back at all the things that I've gone through, that everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. You need to have faith and confidence in that. No matter how dark it is where you are, no matter how dark it is where you are, everything will be okay. Sorry, you had a question?
In terms of modeling, like what techniques do you have to learn only to survive in the industry? Because like a lot of people don't survive the drugs and the payment. So I want to know like what you went through for you to be here today.
Do you know, it was a very good thing that I started at such a young age. I started modeling when I was 14, and at that time, and my mother's a very strict woman, you know, and at that time, I would go do an amazing shoot, wear a dress worth 10,000 Rand, go on a shoot in a luxury yacht somewhere, living the wonderful life, and then when I get home, my mother wants me to clean the floors, wash the dishes, and make supper. And that for me was a big reality check, you know. And at that time, I didn't really, because I didn't even actively pursue modeling. Nowadays, what happens is a lot of young women come up to me and they say, Claire, I want to model just like you. Oh my God, I want to model. What do I need to do to model? And then I find out why. Why do you want to model? And most of their reasons suck. Okay? Most of them suck completely. I want to be famous, I want to be famous. Why do you want to be famous? I don't know, I just want to be famous. That is not a good enough reason. Do you know what I mean? If you know what your purpose is in doing what you're doing, then you'll respect it. You will respect it completely. Modeling is a career, and it's short-lived. You only have like 10 years in your life where you can really do it well. And even then, in South Africa, if you are a top model, I know some of the top models in this country, they cannot live on modeling alone. They also need to part-time as promo girls. They need to part-time as receptionists somewhere. They need to part-time somewhere else. So first of all, eliminate the money aspect. Okay, it will not feed you for long if you're trying to drive a car and own your place and live well. So eliminate that. A lot of people, a lot of women want to be models because they want validation. They want the world to look at them and think, yes, she's beautiful. Okay. To be a model, you don't need to be beautiful. You just need to be a bit strange looking. Have you ever seen a model and you're like, why is she a model? I'm prettier than she. You know those ones that are just a bit like adequate, you know? She's gorgeous in a modeling world. The rest of the world doesn't really accept her as beautiful, but in the modeling world she's earning millions because she's got a unique look. She's different. You really need to be an extraordinary person. I'm going to take my shoes off and I'm going to show you how tall I am. I'm 174, right? I'm 174. As a model, I'm short. This is probably one of the thinnest I've ever been in my life. As a model, I was fat. I was a short, fat model. Looking like this. Can you go? Damn! I know. So if you're not taller than me and thinner than me, your modeling career is not going to last very long. Okay? That's just an example. So it's a tougher industry than you would think. And if you can pass all of those, if you can pass all of that, then maybe you have a chance if you focus and you take it as seriously as a mechanic takes his job, and a plumber takes his job, and a doctor takes it. People just think it's party, party, party. It's zero party, party, party. Any questions?